Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Fourth and Forever, brought to you by Roundtable Sports. Boys, it feels so good to be back. I definitely appreciate you finding Z-Bot to come in and fill for me last evening on the AFC East Roundtable. And I did see that we canceled Fourth and Forever yesterday. I'm not sure about you guys, but I had a filling fall out of my tooth. So I have a toothache from hell, bro. I would not wish this toothache pain on my worst enemy. But luckily I was able to get on some antibiotics, hopped up on some Tylenol right now, and I have a dentist appointment tomorrow so I can fix that bad boy. But damn, yesterday, boys, I was completely useless. Sitting on my couch doing nothing, with a throbbing headache. What's going on, CD?
Great day. I hope you feel better, Dan.
Yeah.
It may not be a toothache. It might just be the Buffalo Bills. The pain they cause you every year.
Okay.
But I hope you feel better. Listen, man, a lot going on around the league. We took yesterday off, but we're back today. It's time to discuss. Let's get into it. Fourth and Forever's here. Let's go.
Fourth and Forever is here indeed. Richie, how's life, man? Talk to me.
Yeah, man, life is good. The comeback for the Knicks starts tonight, so I'm fired up about that. And listen, man, OTAs for the Jets underway. We heard from our coordinators. I just love OTAs, man. I'm such a sucker for football. Every time I just see my Jets football team just practicing, I'm like, woo, let's go. Not because I'm we're gonna shock the world or anything. It's just I love football, man. I love it. I love the sport. It's what we do for a living, and it just fires me up every time I see the content come off my feed of my football team out there and all football in general. So always looking forward to 2 p.m. EST with you guys on Fourth and Forever. And let's get into it, man. Let's do it.
Oh, man. Things are exciting. Tony comes in and says, Dan, I'm back from being sick. Hug Bob. Hug Bob.
Wow. That's what I'm talking about.
Some love, man. It's some love. You deserve some love every now and again. You know what I mean? Anyway. All right, so yesterday I did actually peep in a little bit on the AFC East Roundtable, and I saw that we were discussing the pink substance that Stephon Diggs had on his boat with Cardi B. Damn. What were we talking about last night, boys? What do you think? I'm starting off with TD on this
one. The Stephon Diggs thing, man, and you missed it last night, Dan. I feel like it was a bad look for him, and it is a distraction, in my opinion. I think he needs to be more private with his personal life, but everybody do what they want to do. But at the same token, this is all speculation. We don't know what the pink stuff was. We're alleging. At the end of the day, the league does testing for certain things, and if he's not showing up on tests, then it has nothing to do with him. But being in that type of atmosphere could be served to be an issue, because guess what? If something would have went down, law enforcement or anything like that, you would have been named in and you would have been a part of it. So I just always say people got to be smarter in the off season and make sure that they don't put themselves at risk whenever they, have a team of guys that's relying on them to be a major part of the success of the overall team. So it is what it is. We'll see how this all works out. I think it's. What can at the end of the day, what can happen? You can't. What you get. Somebody in the chat said he getting suspended. What, the league gonna go find the pink substance and test it or something? No.
Yeah. So they could test him, but obviously, so it does depend on how long something like that stays in a system too.
No.
Right?
But. I don't even think it's a case of him may even be partaking. The people he was associated with may have been the ones who were partaking in that type of stuff. So and it's a cultural thing. I know a culture of certain guys keeping that stuff on hand for ladies and stuff like that when it's party time. But that's I don't know too much deep into that life. So it's all speculative.
Yeah, you do,
Nah, I really don't. Okay. But it's all speculative.
You don't gotta lie to the people.
No way. And so I don't see that from TD.
Yeah, no, I'm totally joking.
No.
And so what do you got on that, Richie?
Yeah, I'm about that life, dude. So ask me, Dan. I'm kidding. I'm kidding,
all
guys.
about that life. Come on, man.
I am kidding, man. Okay, I only do the stuff that's legal and medicinal. Okay. I am pretty Whoa, what does that mean? Some alcohol, bro. So all jokes aside, man, it's something to not be a good look if you're Mike Vrabel trying to establish a new culture, in my opinion, because that is a distraction. I mean, whether he took the substance or not, he's in a situation that puts him in a spot where there's cameras on him around a potential legal substance. I mean, there's nothing wrong with partying a Memorial weekend. I mean, you're allowed to live your life, but I know he's coming off an ACL, so he's not really expected to practice at OTAs, but it would still be cool if he was at OTAs, just digesting the playbook, learning his new teammates, learning the new coaching staff. And it just shows you, what happens off the field could be a detriment to the organization. I really don't think that it's going to be detrimental. All of a sudden, the Patriots are now going to be trash now. But Stephon Diggs is coming off an ACL injury. He's up there in age, and I don't really expect much from him. I mean, I really not. When he got signed by the Patriots, I like, what is he? When is he going to start playing? Like week 5, 6, 7, 8? Who knows? So yeah, it's a distraction that I'm sure Mike Vrabel does not want.
Yeah, but I mean, hell, you know what? Like this right now is the 4th locker room that he's been a part of, and wow, like me personally, I thought that he would at least go 1 full year without like being a distraction. But of course, we'll see what's going on here from the New England Patriots. That and if Drake May cannot just throw 4 interceptions right into practice, sort of situation. Maybe it's dark times over in New England. Indeed. Guys, I got to tell you what, right? Because now that it's the off season, it's very prime hypothetical season, right? And this is Richie's favorite time of the year is hypotheticals, right? And that's a joke, obviously. He's not happy with hypotheticals. But I did ultimately end up finding a graphic today that was posted that I think you guys might find interesting. It says, which 2024 playoff team will miss the playoffs in 2025? And just for a reminder, all right, I'm going to list off some teams, and I'm going to tell you which teams I think are going to miss, all right? So the 2024 playoff teams were as follows: the Ravens, the Buffalo Bills, the Denver Broncos, the Detroit Lions, the Green Bay Packers, the Houston Texans, the Kansas City Chiefs, the LA Chargers, the LA Rams, the Minnesota Vikings, the Philadelphia Eagles, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the Washington Commanders. All right. Now, what can make it even more interesting, I found 3 teams that I think are going to be looking from the outside in. And let me know whether or not you guys agree or you have more or you have less. But first one and the easiest one for me is the Pittsburgh Steelers. And so I think that's likely the layup answer there. We know that they're going to go 9-8 somehow, but still a lot of question marks around their offensive line. And of course, who their quarterback is going to be. Even if it does end up being Aaron Rodgers, I have the Steelers being one of the ones that are left out. Hot take, the Minnesota Vikings. Hot take, the Minnesota Vikings I have sitting from the outside in. I'm not trying to shit on J.J. McCarthy. I do think that he's going to have a great NFL career, but there's going to be some rookie setbacks, right? Like there's going to be some rookie mistakes. And I think with how competitive the NFC North and NFC East are about to be, it's going to be very difficult for them to find their way in. I definitely trust the Packers and Lions a hell of a lot more, and I'm not sleeping on the Chicago Bears either. And then last team for me was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as well, because I think that there's still some things from the defense that they completely ignored. Yeah, solid offense, all good and gravy, but there will only be one team that makes it to the playoffs from the NFC South, and with all of the wild card teams will be from the East and the North. So that's my take. What teams that made the playoffs last year will not make them this year? Richie.
Oh, TD, you look like you were ready to go. You want to go first?
Go ahead, TD.
I mean, it's fine. All right.
It looked like TD was like, "Come on, call on me, Dan." He was just
no. I like your Vikings take. I don't know what to expect. Sam played so well last year that JJ, man, boy, you really gotta live up to some expectations. So that's a scary situation over there due to the offense. So I don't know how that's gonna turn out. So they could very well miss. I also gotta say the Rams, because that division is a crapshoot.
Yeah.
It came down to the wire like the last week. So any one of those teams can easily pluck in, and I love what Arizona's done. I love what Arizona's done this offseason, so they very well could miss. NFL refs fan in the chat said TD gonna say Buffalo. Why? Because we all know. We all know. Miami's on the rise. The Jets, got a new energy, and the Patriots, man, they got the coach and everything. So Buffalo, and I know people think I'm trolling when I say Buffalo. They should win the division, but I'm gonna stick by my belief that Buffalo has only been as good as they've been because they've dominated the division, helping them coast into the playoffs. This year, that's not going to be the case. I think they go 3-3 in the division and they just miss out in the wild card. Outside of that, I guess the only close team I would say maybe Denver.
Denver, huh?
Yeah, I just feel like they already overachieved last year.
Yeah.
And
so their defense got pretty damn good, though.
Yeah, and well, one team that I think they're still gonna make it, but we don't know because they lost both coordinators. That's the Lions. I want to see how they react to that.
They're at least making the playoffs. Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, how good do you think Aaron Glenn is?
They should. They should.
And so the personnel is just too damn good.
Yeah, their team's too talented, man.
And so we could have me and TD as the coordinators over there with like that sort of talent on the personnel, and we'd probably say Texans might be interesting too. And the Texans might be interesting.
Division's too weak, though.
If Jacksonville can, I don't know, like catch fire, maybe Trevor Lawrence stays healthy. Maybe Travis Hunter is that dude. And Brian Thomas Jr. is that dude. I don't know. Richie, thoughts? What teams, based off of the aforementioned ones, would you pick to not make the playoffs in 2025?
In the AFC, I got the Steelers missing it, and they're losing week 1. I got the Denver Broncos. I think they overachieved last year. I think they're going to be good, but I think they're just going to miss the playoffs just by being on the bubble. I can see the Chargers making it as a wild card. I think all 4 division winners are probably going to bounce back. I got the Ravens winning the division again, the Bills winning the division again, the Chiefs winning the division again, and AFC South, you never know. Maybe the Jaguars could do it. The Texans look a little funky last year. Okay, they did. But they start playing their best ball late. But, yeah, I got the Bengals making the playoffs this year, replacing the Broncos. Oh, they got no defense, bro.
Yeah, I forgot about the Bengals.
I definitely got the Bengals making the playoffs this year. I think Joe Burrow is just way too good of a quarterback to not make the playoffs again. And, yeah, the other team is interesting, man. I really don't know. I think nobody saw the Broncos make the playoffs. Who's going to be this year's Broncos? I think there's going to be interesting guys. No one saw the Commanders coming from the NFC side of things. So there's always that team that just slips and starts clicking faster than we all can expect. But yeah, on the NFC side of things, I can see this one's tough. The Vikings are interesting, man. I think they're probably going to make the playoffs just because I trust Kevin O'Connell so much, but also there's a side of me that's like, everyone just saying it's all Kevin O'Connell, all Justin Jefferson, and Sam did nothing. So my eyes are on the Vikings, man, because I think there is going to be some rookie learning curves from JJ. Yeah. I don't see him lighting it up as much as Sam Darnold. And talking about Sam Darnold, I think the Seahawks have a chance to make the playoffs this year. Like, people are sleeping on that Seahawks team. If there was one team in the NFC I can see squeak into the playoffs, it's them. Cooper Kupp, if he can stay healthy with JSN. I mean, Sam's got not as good as weapons that he did with Minnesota, but he's got weapons to work with over there. And we know what Sam looks like when you give him the proper weapons and structure. And I think he has that. So that's a team that's a sleeper for me over there in the NFC West. So it's tough. But I think the Bears can squeak in this year too if everything clicks. The Packers. The Packers got to make the playoffs. The NFC is a little bit more stacked than we think. So yeah.
Bears.
That's my thought.
Yeah, so funny enough, when it comes to the Bears too, you saw that whole article that came out or some book where we found out that Caleb wanted nothing to do with the Bears and stuff like that. And he had a great meeting with Minnesota. He was hoping Minnesota would have drafted him, etc. And that came out obviously. And since he has been addressing the media. Is that causing some drama within the locker room, or do you think since the regime completely changed, it shouldn't be an issue? Because he already ended up speaking on that during his last press conference. So I'm going to go up to Richie on this one. Is that going to be a distraction for the Chicago Bears, or are you not so much concerned? So with all that stuff that came out on Caleb Williams.
Yeah, so like the body language stuff.
Yeah. Stuff like that. Like he was like in a book and stuff, and they said that he didn't want to be on the Bears at all. He was saying how like he was 100% right on his own with watching the film. Like from what I understand, last year was bad for Caleb. Like Shane Waldron, like didn't know what he was doing. Like he like wouldn't sit down with him during film review. It was largely just him like winging it and learning it himself. So do you think this affects the team going into it, or since it's a change of regime, it shouldn't be a distraction at all?
Yeah, I mean, it's a different regime. It's a completely different dynamic. I think that the old Chicago Bears is over, and I think there's a new identity that's going to be formulated here, and that's concerning. I mean, the same thing happened with Justin Fields when he was drafted. Not the same exact thing to a T, but similar, where there was no support around him. So I think getting Ben Johnson in is going to shift a lot of things, and it's up to Caleb Williams to figure himself out. I saw something where Ben Johnson is concerned about his body language or something like that. I don't know if that's concerning, but I don't really know. I don't think the Bears are going to spark immediately. I think the Bears are going to take some time to click. And I think it's either the second half of the season they start to click, or it's year 2 with Ben Johnson where they're going to click. Like I don't see them coming out guns blazing right away.
And so what do you got on that, TD?
Listen, I think they hit the ground running. I think that does this team not have all the weapons? Like, you know how we talked about Tennessee loaded? Do you feel that way about the Bears?
I do. I do.
What comparisons? I know we talk about Tennessee being loaded. You're wrong about.
Oh, Richie, the quarterback is what hurt that team. Okay.
No, that
team was loaded. The quarterback hurt them.
Yeah, no, they were not loaded. They're still not loaded, bro. So wait, is their roster the same?
No.
So
as last year that it is this year. What did they do to the roster?
They start trading people before the season.
And so the Bears you're talking about?
The Titans.
Tennessee.
If you compare the Titans roster from last year to this year, is it better or the same or worse?
Oh, it's worse.
Yeah.
Right?
Who did they get rid of?
I think they were during the season they were trading some of their better players when they already knew what time it was. And I don't think they did much at all. Other
than DeAndre Hopkins was gone halfway through the season.
They invested in the O-line.
Yeah.
So my point is, like, what's your I know you were talking about another team here, but now I'm curious what you think Cam Ward is.
Titans ball right now. We could talk some Titans.
No. I'm a fan of Cam Ward, man. Me and him met, bro. I was talking to him at the draft.
And you know what? Let me say this. Who's to say Cam Ward doesn't have a Jaden Daniels rookie year?
He absolutely can.
With Tennessee. Nobody thought Washington was going to do anything at all. Stop.
Hey, you remember the topic last year? Who's this year's Houston Texans? I said the Commanders. Come on.
Oh,
I did. Do you guys remember that?
Well, who's this year's Commanders?
That's a great question. I love that topic.
The Jets.
Oh, no.
All right. Thank y'all for
your credibility. Save your credibility here.
Hey, man. I'm just saying, bro. We got the bill for it.
So,
now we're this year's
Vikings. To fit this, right? And so in order to fit this, and so does the team need to have a rookie quarterback?
Yeah.
That's why the Jets aren't the Commanders. The Jets are this year's Vikings. Yeah, we're this year's Vikings. Which I prefer. The Titans.
Man. Has to be the Titans. It ain't gonna be no Giants.
Be not unless Tyler Shook just goes out
there. That is, you know what I mean? I'm seeing some Shookness over there on the next. I'm seeing some Shook.
Dude, listen, I don't trust any Saints quarterback because me and Richie were high on Spencer Rat-a-tat-tat last year.
Yeah, I know.
I will say this about Shook, though. If there was any quarterback in this draft that's the most NFL ready to play right away, like outside of, the blue chip guys like Cam Ward, it is Tyler Shook. He's 25, 26 years old. During the scouting process, I remember the one thing about him is this is someone you feel confident to play right away. That's not going to be like Jackson Dart, for example. He's young, 21. He kind of needs to sit and learn. Shook is someone that people have confidence he can start day one and impact. So that's just something to keep in mind about him. He's an older rookie, 25 years old, I think. Where Jackson Dart's young, still got to figure it out. Even though you see Jackson Dart slinging the rock around. Oh, Jackson Dart's looking good over there.
It ain't gonna be the Giants, okay? And if it is, then the NFC East will be the best division in football.
And so I got a question for you guys, right?
Tua Tagovailoa, though, is hilarious. If you think about it.
Yeah, he is.
How did he enter the conversation?
Because I'm trying to think of hope, and I'm like, yeah, no hope,
man.
Yeah, no. Like, at least my expectations are low. Like, your expectations are high. They're back.
It's the team swerve.
Zach Wilson throwing picks. Go TAs already. Quinn Ewers throwing picks.
That was our undrafted.
Oh, yeah.
That was our
by the way,
player.
I did see your quote tweet earlier today. Be like, guess who threw it? Right.
It was our undrafted rookie.
Sure.
Oh, was it? Okay, it wasn't Tua?
Yeah.
No, that's a lie.
No, it definitely wasn't Tua, though, because of the rotation of the ball.
The rotation of the ball was right-handed. You saw the Dolphins fans are like dissecting. They're like, "Oh, this is a right-handed rotation of a football."
Listen, they will.
Listen,
Dude,
I didn't know who threw the ball, but you know me, I like to troll on Twitter, so I said, "Guess who threw it?" That's just my troll post, right?
Yeah.
I didn't care who threw it, and boy, I could not stop laughing when I saw these people. Well, it wasn't Tua because of the rotation. I'm like, they go deep,
dude.
They go deep.
All right. So here's my question, right? Because I have never seen a fan base go to war for a quarterback more than Dolphins fans go for Tua, bro.
Especially an average one.
So TD, like, here's my question: like, what quite literally does Tua need to do for like finally like your fan base to be like, okay, this dude's buns? Like, what does he need to do? Because I feel like there's been so many occasions where it's proven like, damn, this guy ain't it, but they're still just blind to it.
He would have to fall so flat on his face, and what I mean by that.
Okay.
50% completion, 14 touchdowns, 18 picks in a season. And that's not going to happen. This is why I try to tell Dolphin fans, we have the worst version of a quarterback. And what do I mean by that? Okay, because Tua is not a worse quarterback. We have the worst version.
Yeah.
The guy who's good enough not to be good enough. He'll never be bad enough.
Above mid.
Yeah,
like
he'll never be bad enough for you to be like, oh, we gotta move on. But he'll never.
But there are some times where he does look that bad, though. I'm not gonna lie.
But he'll never also be good enough for us to be like, oh my gosh, this is a Hall of Famer one day. So
yeah,
it's the worst situation to be in because you're just stuck. You're stuck. It's the Andy Dalton effect. I mean, he rolled out for 11 years. 11 years being good enough not to be good enough. He was good enough with those receivers to never even dare say, oh, we got to move on. Oh, no, this is still good, because when you go through poverty quarterback play and then you get a good one, but he ain't good enough, you're addicted to the good one because you don't want to lose that. Because you know what the poverty feels like, but it's the worst situation to be in because you're gonna waste years and years and not realize until it's over. Until it's over.
So never.
Why didn't Andy Dalton have great success in like far in the postseason and all of that? See, nobody could really pinpoint it. If we go 11 years with Tua and we never have real playoff success, but he put up some numbers and stuff like that, we'll say, why couldn't we ever have better success with Tua in the playoffs? Nobody will be able to answer it. It's the worst. As a fan, it's the worst. You just write your 11-year sentence of just purgatory. Of purgatory.
And so what do you think on that, Richie? And so what do you think needs to happen for Dolphins fans to finally be like, you know what? Yeah, we're done with this guy.
I know exactly what needs to happen.
What's that?
Tua needs to stay healthy for 17 games. And then they'll know that he's a bum. I mean, like, because that's the excuse that they're living in their brain.
He did one time, Richie. It was his best season, but once again, every big game, no good.
Like, let me go down this scenario. Tua plays all 17 games. Dolphins go 10-7. Makes the playoffs. And in those 7 losses, there's some ugly games by Tua. But he has a solid year. He matches career highs. But then in the wild card round, he has to go to a team on the road as a wild card team in the cold. Or say it's not even the cold. Say he has to go to
Jacksonville.
Like Houston or Jacksonville, right? Who won the division. And he lays an egg. What's the topic? You losing, you still don't have a playoff drought. Richie. He had a solid season. He had like 28 touchdowns, 10 picks, had a great completion percentage.
You see?
But then he falls short.
See what I'm talking about? He already did that, Richie.
But that's what Tua. That's who Tua is. Like
he already did that. This is my point.
That's his ceiling. I'm sorry, I don't see. Obviously, you can't put a cap on anybody. Anybody can prove people wrong. But I just don't see a scenario where he can break free of that.
In our fan base, this is their excuse. Well, everybody got to stay healthy.
And if everybody was healthy in that scenario, like
what team relies on everybody to stay healthy?
Like, I'll tell you this, TD, there's a difference. If the Jets have that season, if Justin Fields has a great year and we go to the playoffs and we lose in the playoffs, it's a different dynamic. We're like, yo, Justin Fields is our guy.
Of course it is, because it happened in a one-season sample size.
And yeah, broke a playoff
for
drought
5 years, and that only happened once, and it still didn't amount to anything.
So what does Tua just gotta win a playoff game? I think that's what he's got to do.
But Richie, here's the problem. What people also don't realize: Tua's rookie season, he was the starter in Week 16. Remember, this was a 16-game season back then. He was the starter in Week 16. I think it was against Buffalo, if I'm not mistaken. And like, win and you're in. The Dolphins had a win and you're in. Laid an egg, just terrible. Laid an egg. The next season, I don't even think he finished the season. The next year was his best year. He finished the season, bombed in a playoff game in every good game. The year before that was the Tennessee game. Hey, long as you go to Tennessee and beat them, he was horrible. Every year our season derails and nobody wants to talk about Tua Tagovailoa was the reason. Every single season, whether it's from injury or play. Year 1 was from play. Year 2 was from play with Tennessee. Year 3, he went all the way, and he got hurt in year 2 too, but the Tennessee game killed him. Year 3 under McDaniel, first year under McDaniel, he was healthy every game, and he bombed up in the playoffs in every good game in the regular season. Last year, same situation. 2 years ago, same situation, and last year, look at what we had. 6 games, missed 2 different periods of the season. 3 games or 4 games early and like 2 late. So it's the same thing. It's okay, though. I've already buckled my seatbelt. And I'm just, I already know the judge has already given me a minimum 7-year sentence, maximum 11.
So now I have a question about a quarterback that I'm scared is slowly but surely starting to get into that level of Tua, right? Like the good enough not to be good enough, right? And maybe it's too soon because it's a very limited sample size. But last night, man, while I was recovering from my toothache, I was just like, is Jordan Love good? Right? Mm-hmm. And I kind of started looking at his career, right? And I pulled up his career stats. His first season as a starter, certainly impressive, right? 4,159 yards, 32 touchdowns, and 11 picks. Last year, he missed a couple of games, but he did about 3,300, had 25 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. And then last playoff performance, he ended up laying an egg and throwing 3 picks against the Philadelphia Eagles in an absolutely horrific performance going into it. I think my fear with Jordan Love is that he was able to take advantage of several defensive coordinators not having tape on him his first year as a true starter, and now he came back to earth in 2024 Now my question is, what is he going to be like in 2025? Is he truly the guy, especially with that contract? Thoughts? How close do you think you would put him in the not good enough to be good enough category? TD.
This is going to be a very deciding and defining season for Jordan Love in that regards. But here's why you give him the benefit of the doubt, and he's just over that echelon. He just meets the mark, just above the good enough not to be good enough, because he's already shown postseason success.
Yeah.
It's all that matters. And now the longer he goes, he has to start keeping it up and start to progress forward, or he'll start to trickle down into that realm as well. So, but right now, I don't put him in the category as good enough not to be good enough not to be good enough. He's just above that, right at that's the minimum of what you can live with.
Yeah.
So that's my belief on it.
So one playoff victory, and so against the Dallas Cowboys, which is known, and for a team to completely
and let me say this: that year, the Dallas Cowboys were considered Super Bowl contenders.
Yeah, I know.
So, and Dak's best season as a pro that year too.
Money on the line. What are you taking? Vrabel undefeated record versus Tua, or Tua undefeated record versus the Patriots?
What? Vrabel undefeated
He's
record
asking
versus
Vrabel
Tua.
undefeated. Got it. Okay. So he's saying money on the line. Which team is more likely going to sweep?
If money was on the line, I'll take Vrabel undefeated.
Say like you had to pick. Yeah. So with Vrabel, he sweeps the Dolphins, or Dolphins sweep Vrabel.
Yeah, I'll take Vrabel sweeping the Dolphins. If I had to put my money on the line, if that was the money, here's why: because Vrabel knows exactly how to get at Tua on defense. I mean, Vrabel makes Tua look horrible every single time. When I say horrible, I mean horrible. Like, he's the one that makes
coach, man.
Like, he makes Tua look horrible. He knows exactly what to do. Okay. But Tua undefeated against the Patriots is just solely because they've been one of the down teams in the last 5 years. They've had nothing going for themselves in the last 5 years. They haven't had a good coach in the last 5 years. So, I mean, everybody against the Patriots for the most part the last 5 years, except the Jets, of course.
Well, luckily we have a brand new scheme that's going to be designed to destroy Tua, so we're good.
All right. So, Richie, your thoughts on Jordan Love? Is he dangerously approaching the he's good enough not to be good enough type category, or is he still giving him a year to figure it out?
First of all, shout out Miami Vibes for the generous $5 super chat. We really do appreciate the kind super chat, my friend.
Thank you, sir.
I do agree with TD. He had playoff success, so not yet. The Packers are a good team, and I think, you look at the who are the quarterbacks in that category? Tua, Trevor Lawrence, even though he won a playoff game, but that was like a weird game.
Oh, yeah. He threw like 4 picks in the first half, and he's somehow recovered.
Yeah. It's not like he played great. Like, is Dak Prescott in that category? Like, who are the quarterbacks in this category?
In the good enough not to be good enough?
Geno Smith.
A1 Trevor Lawrence. A1 Tua Tagovailoa. Geno Smith for sure.
Baker. But no, I think
Baker
just out of it.
Baker got out of it for me. He just went up there.
Which is why I think Baker Mayfield and Jordan Love are in the same category, like right above.
I agree. I
feel like I'd take Baker over Jordan Love.
Now
that's actually a really good debate. Like, who would you take, Baker or Jordan Love? Like, I'd probably take Baker. To be honest with you,
Baker Mayfield's got that edge, man. He's just got that competitive.
You know who else is in the good enough not to be good enough? Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
Dak Prescott. You know the sad part is you got to put him in that category.
You do.
Postseason. Now he could, but the thing about Dak, he has the talent where he can work himself out of there anytime. But he got to. This is the year right here. This is it.
What about Justin Herbert?
Herbert's talent alone will always keep him out of that category.
But like a talent, yeah. But where's the success?
Yeah, but again, remember,
He's
are
had,
you
what,
the
3
main?
coaches?
Yeah, in 4 years or whatever.
Maybe he's the problem.
Maybe.
Stop.
Maybe.
Listen,
I mean, maybe.
are we gonna sit here and act like Herbert didn't have 2 seasons at the beginning of his career like Burrow had last year, where he put up 30-something a game and the defense couldn't stop a nosebleed? That's what Herbert had to go through. So don't be a part of the reason why you keep losing in competitive games. And another thing, Herbert competes in the big games in his division and against big teams. He competes.
Yeah, he does.
You can't, like, he not out here laying bombshell stinkers. Now, has he given up some leads and not held on from an offensive perspective? Yeah, I would say that. But Herbert's not in that category. Herbert is what you want as a quarterback, one of those guys. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think Jordan Love is just not in there for me because of his playoff success.
Yeah.
But he could fall into that category this year if he doesn't.
It's true.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Well, folks, that's going to have to do it for another edition of Fourth and Forever, brought to you by Roundtable Sports. Man, we really appreciate you guys making this a part of your daily routine. Apologies for missing yesterday. We will see you tomorrow and do our best to be as consistent as possible at the typical time frame. As more OTA storylines come out, we are going to be unpacking them ad nauseum next week. Crossing our fingers. We're going to have way too much to talk about. But thank you again for tuning in. Richie, what do you got to say to the audience before we send them off?
Much love to everybody as always. Peace and love. We are excited to continue grinding on this show all off season long, and we'll see you guys next time.
What do you got, TD?
Thanks for tuning in to Fourth and Forever. We'll see you guys next time, but make sure that you hit the like button, let your friends and family members know that we're live at 2 p.m. All right. Love you all. Appreciate you all. Let's get it.
We appreciate y'all, and we will see you tomorrow. Same time, same place.
Peace. Not tomorrow.
We are. Ow! Bow! Bow!